You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Got to give you a quick MAFS update. Last night, Dan's losing me, the 42-year-old.
Oh, my God.
He's with Sandy, and he's just out running all the time. But anyway, like Dan, he's basically coming forward. He's being honest. He's not really attracted to Sandy anymore.
What I need to know from you is, are you sexually attracted to her, Dan?
Right now, no. The sexual chemistry just isn't there.
You know why the sexual chemistry isn't there? Because this Daily Mail headline that says Dan is split from Sandy and is now dating busty wedding guests with double G breasts who attended the nuptials. He's already seen someone who went to the wedding.
Right, the bosoms takes it all. Do you know what? I'm sick of hearing Dan the way he speaks to Sandy. He talks down to her and belittles her the entire time. And you know what? Yeah. Dan, if you want to keep selling yourself as the ultimate guy, then no one's going to meet your expectation, because he even made the comment last night about people not being able to keep up with him. He doesn't go running with people that can't keep up with his pace.
Well,
and then not only does he talk on her behalf as well about the relationship instead of letting her voice be heard, he then... You know, when I read through what Dan is trying to say to her and what he truly thinks, he wants to say overweight slob. Well, that is what's in his mind. And Sandy has a heart of gold, is very beautiful and has gone on there, to be honest, and find love.
Isn't it the worst when you talk to people who talk about when they go to the gym all the time?
Isn't it horrible? I was there yesterday at the gym thinking about Dan. I was on the rower, then I got on the treadmill.
To the gym, we hear about it all the time the next day.
What are you talking about?
And you're saying that you're in beast mode. Have a listen to Dan here. This is a horrible comment that he says to Sandy on the couch last night.
Sandy, if I spent that much time at the gym as what you do on this couch, I'd be absolutely shredded and ripped to no end. I'm out running, I'm out hiking, I'm out in the water, I'm in the ocean, because I'm in beast mode then.
Oh my God, you're a hero, mate. You're an absolute hero.
In beast mode.
Dan is a huge fan of Dan. And he needs to pull his head in at 100 miles an hour, because he's disgracing himself. It's becoming very embarrassing, and it's not fair.
We're trying to get Dan on.
To Sandy.
Dan, he hasn't been presented yet, Tommy, has he? I think
not yet. Any day
next
now.
Week?
Yeah, next week.
Do you know what the problem is too? Dan thinks he knows how to come across as a great guy, but now we're seeing his true colours. He came across, as the ultimate bloke at the wedding and at the start of the show, and it was like, oh my God, how's this guy been single for so long? Well, now we know, Dan. Because you're a turkey bird.
Yeah. I mean, it is a bit frustrating if you have a healthy lifestyle.
Dan's best, mate.
And your partner doesn't. That can lead to clashes.
She does. Yeah, she doesn't sit on the couch all day. Dan is exaggerating. Do you know what's going on here? I've seen this behaviour before. Dan wants to break up with her, doesn't want to break up with her. He doesn't want to be the one to do it, so belittles her so much that he's waiting for her to pull the pin. And say, I'm breaking up with you. And then he sits back and goes, oh, she dumped me, guys. Yeah, because you treated her like garbage.
He's just trying to
said it, mate.
Yeah, well, look, we're trying to get him on. I would dare say if he's being offered to us next week, I don't think that relationship is going to last.
No, neither do I.
So Sunday night, I would say it would be all over. We get one chance to have a go at beast mode. And then we find out after that.
And I want to play the audio of the pocket dial too, Fitz, because then we found out what Dan really thinks.
We were talking to Married at First Sight last night. We're focusing on Dan. Dan's starting to show his true colours. He's in beast mode. He's out. He's working out 6 hours a day.
What a hero.
And, Sandy's trying to make the relationship work. Dan also, last night, there was a tough one because Evelyn... the boys went out for a few beers, and Evelyn's bloke, Rupert, accidentally bum-dialed Evelyn.
Oops.
He had no idea that she was on the other end, and she could hear the conversation that was going on.
And then felt the duty to break it to Sandy. Have a listen.
Rupert butt-dialed me. Dan was out with the boys. He was insinuating that he was too good for this experiment and too good for you. Once I asked Rupert what was going on, he told me he was showing all the boys photos of his ex-girlfriends, like boasting about like how hot his ex-girlfriends were.
It's like,
Nah,
I don't
that's
know. I got a
embarrassing.
feeling that Dan's gone on the show to get his profile up. It's really weird.
You're out of line.
It disappoints me that someone would do that on Married at First
Doesn't
Sight.
sound like the kind of thing Dan would do. I'm really surprised by
I feel
that.
like I've been tricked.
Yeah. For TV purposes, no way known. Did you see the photos of Evelyn the other day getting around? I don't know what party she was at in lingerie. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, sorry. We do look at the Daily Mail for research for the show, where the photos are. I certainly didn't go looking for them, but my God, Rupert has got his hands full.
Oh, my gosh. Feels like you should be going on Married at First Sight. Luke's given a call from Hurstville. We're talking about pocket dial stories. What did you hear, Luke?
Yeah, g'day boys, how are you?
Yeah, strong, Luke. What's your story?
Yeah, I was applying for a uni, and they got back to me and they left me a really nice voicemail, and the guy was super friendly, saying, yeah, look, this is what it's going to be like, get in touch. And then went to hang up on the call, but the difference was he didn't actually hang up.
Oh, awesome.
And as soon as he supposedly thought he hung up, he just started turning around and swearing and saying, it's just the worst part of the day. He hates calling all these effing students, just like a joke. And I thought, all right, this sounds like a good place to apply for.
What did you do with the audio, Luke? Anything?
I saved it.
Yeah, it's good evidence. That's great evidence.
It's evidence, but no, I didn't end up doing anything with it.
Was it Tiffany Haddish? She was the one she's the Hollywood actor.
Great story.
So she was going for auditions over in Hollywood and she wasn't getting any roles and she didn't know why because they were saying that she was doing such an amazing job. So she thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave my phone and I'm going to start recording on my phone in my handbag. So she went into the audition one day, started recording. She did the audition and then she left the audition. They said, we'll get back to you. She left the audition, went back about 15 minutes later and said, I'm so sorry, I left my handbag in here.
Very good.
She was recording the whole time. They critiqued her the whole time afterwards and she listened back to it.
All the honest feedback you could ever ask for. She's quit. Mel on the Central Coast, what's the pocket dial story?
My mother-in-law accidentally bag dialed me and left a 10-minute voice call on my phone with my father-in-law, saying how they were disgusted that their son had married me, didn't understand. We'd been married for 12 years by this time. Yeah, and then had the audacity to come over and say, you had no right to listen to our private conversation.
Oh, I had a go at you, gaslighted you.
Which I rebutted. You lost the right to privacy when you left it on my phone.
Of course.
Oh, my God. Mel, how are things now?
Oh, I've let go of the anger and the bitterness. My husband still hasn't, and they're his parents. But I'm like, life's too short.
So he's furious at them, is he?
He's still furious.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Fair enough.
That's
He
horrible.
stood by me the whole time. He, protected me and the kids. So.
Good on him.
I wonder if you could... You know what? If I was him, every time the in-laws ring him, your ringtone is them... on the voice message bag and you.
I never liked her. He shouldn't have married her. Oh, phone's ringing again. Never liked her. Shouldn't have married her.
Picking that one up. Anne in Strathfield, what's your pocket dial story?
My ex-husband was, supporting a friend. Let's say he was pretending to support a friend, and he accidentally butt-dialed me, and he was with another woman.
Oh, what did you hear, Anne?
I heard a lot of music at first. They were out and about, and initially I said, what the hell's going on here? But in the end, it got all quiet, and I could hear everything that they were doing. So that was the end of my marriage.
Oh, no. And how did you break it to him?
Well, he denied. Wasn't me. That song, I think they wrote for him.
Yeah, it
but
wasn't
anyway.
me.
I just confronted him and I said, I don't care, it was you, and that's it. No, you need to own up to it. You need to be a man about it. You can't have a family and have other women out and about and doing whatever you want.
Oh, I see.
It was horrible.
Everything's fine unless you get busted.
Anne deserves first class and 50K. Let me tell you, you're in the running. So's Mel and Luke.
And have you found anybody else? Have you moved on?
I think I'm just too scared now. I don't trust anymore. I've lost a lot of trust, and it's really hard to go back and be innocent and trustful again.
I mean,
so,
and such a graphic thing for you to sit with and know that you heard all of that, whatever sounds they were making, however.
Yes, I heard it all, and I had just had a baby.
Oh my God,
Man, that's not.
There are some dogs in this world.
That, Anne.
Absolute rubbish. What a tip rat.
Yeah, well done. Thanks All right. Thanks for your calls, guys.
That would be horrible to be clear, your partner.
Your official stance is, and everyth's fine until you get caught.
No. I'm going. Sorry, that fell out of my mouth. But the point is, with Anne,
your mantra your whole life. There are
absolute stinkers out there, and I don't agree with any of that level of behaviour.
Once they get caught.
Once you get caught, that's the difference.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.